Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome back to the Morning Show on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. We begin conversations this morning in studio. We speak with Mr. Brian Thomas, and he is the chairman of Pan Trinbago Tobago region. And we're talking about World Steelpan Day Pan Jam Tobago edition. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Adanna. Nice to be here again after such a long time.
Of course. And you know, when we're talking about Steelpan, there's always some measure of excitement, especially as the instrument has just been given the prestigious title of being the national instrument of Trinidad and Tobago. And a lot of conversation surrounding that. But this morning we want to focus on celebrating the instrument that is the pan. And so we're talking about coming out of Steelpan month and a slew of events that has taken place around the pan. So tell us about what has happened and what is happening in the Tobago aspect of it.
Right, so good morning again, Tobago. So August was National Steelpan Month, where we had a number of events happening around the country. Notable, we had the World Steelpan Day celebration on August the 11th. We also have the Steelpan Musical Festival, where the classical Steelpan played classical music.
That was beautiful.
And we had two Tobago bands that made it to the finals in the ensemble category, which was Alpha Pan Pioneers, came in fourth, which is good after a 10-year absence in the space.
Congratulations.
And we also had Cats and Jammers coming in third in the orchestra category, and also won the best test piece. Right, so we did good in that aspect. But now it's Tobago's turn to have its concert on Sunday, September the 8th at the Boko facilities. So we're going to have that bands coming together to give that nice, festival feeling, that nice Panya jam that we've been having for all of August. So it's going to happen now in Tobago.
So is it that you're going to have all those categories of music as well?
Well, we're going to have 8 bands participating, and they're going to come with different genre of music. So, it's going to be different moods throughout the nights.
Okay, and who are some of the bands that are coming for this event on Sunday?
Right, so we're going to have Cats and Jammers. We're going to have NLCB Buccaneers, the RBC Redemption Songsetters, T&Tech Eastside New Dimension. We also have First Citizens, Tobago Panthers, Our Boys, Metro Stars, and Natural Mystic.
No, it's so amazing that you're sitting here and you're not even looking at a script and you're able to rattle off all the 8 bands that are going to be there on Sunday, which shows me that there is a level of passion and commitment and dedication for what you do there coming out of the Steelpan. And I want to congratulate our Steelpan bands here on the island of Tobago. They have been fighting to state their position where Pan is concerned, and they've been doing excellently well. They've been doing really, really well. You mentioned a Pan that was away for how many years?
No, Alpha Pan Pioneers is known as the church band in Tobago, right, and entered that category, the anthem category. So I was saying that the festival, the music festival,
right. Okay.
Part of it was out for a number of years. I think it was 21 years or somewhere along that line. So we haven't got music festival in the country. And, coming back for the first time, it's nice that we had 2 Tobago bands in 2 different categories meeting the finals.
That's right. And that is because of the dedication that they put into it. And, of course, the pride. How, as a pan man, I know you love the pan. But when we go to national events, when we go to Trinidad and compete with the bigger bands or the bands that, they say they're bigger than us, and you hear the name of a Tobago band being mentioned in the top 2, top 3. How does it make you feel?
Well, it's a poor reason experience because being there on the festival night, this is something totally different than Panorama. Totally different. It speaks to discipline. It speaks to concentration. It's a whole different vibes. And being there on the night in Queen's Hall, hearing Alpha Pan Pioneers played in that, nice acoustics. It's not a raga thing, well dressed and everything. And they came in second in the well dressed also category. So it's a whole different feel, and you feel really proud that Tobago can stand up to those other bands in Trinidad.
And as you're speaking here, I'm thinking about the diversity of the pan. There are different genres of music that you can play from the pan. And of course, different, can I say, personas that you put on when you play the pan, because when you're playing soca, you're more, you're free up, you're relaxed, you could be, the whole essence of who you are. And then when you go into different genres of music, you change the mood.
The suits. Yeah, so the pan can play anything. The pan can play the song of the wind. It can play the songs of birds chirping. So it can play anything, and that is the beauty of that particular instrument. So it's not about panorama alone. The diversity of it is really wonderful, and it can calm you. It can make you excited. Music is love and music emotion.
And how can you, standing there in the position that you hold, are you satisfied with the amount of persons who are showing interest in pan, or do you feel as if more people can come on board, either whether it's to participate or to be on the executive part of things, the administrative part of things, to push pan even further than where it is right now?
Yes, although we are in a good space now, always need more players. We always need more supporters, especially for when we are keeping our shows like Sunday, but people to come out and support. It will encourage the bands now to continue doing what they are doing. Of course, the executive, that is something also that needs a little more support in it. But, all wrong, people coming on board also, I must mention also, we need more sponsors also to keep it going, because it costs a wealthy sum to keep a band going in this age.
So that is a call there for all and sundry out there who have the means to so do. Let's keep the pan alive, especially here in Tobago, of course. It's now our national instrument, and so we want to continue, making the investments in it to keep it where it is, the sustainability of it.
Yes,
so this event taking place this Sunday, tell us the time, and is there a cover charge to get in?
Right, so this event is totally free, and the time is 7 p.m. at the Boko Beach facility. Right, so it's a Sunday school. You come early, you just get nice Steelpan all night. We're gonna have our friends from Trinidad on the national executive coming up to support us as we were down there during the August month, supporting them. So a whole set of people is coming up from Trinidad to support this event, and we also like the Tobagonians to come out and help us support this event also.
Of course, because it's our thing, and of course, we have to show our strength in numbers.
Yes, we can show our strength, and we can stand up to those bands and any performance in Trinidad.
That's right. So this is an invitation to all and sundry. I'm excited to have this conversation, and I'm excited for this event that is taking place there on Sunday. And I'm happy that you took the initiative to have the Tobago edition of, the celebration of the pan, because basically that is what it is, right?
Yes.
A celebration of the pan. Even for those who can't play, they have an appreciation of it, like myself. I try the pan, and I come from a music family, as you know, calypso and Steelpan. My dad used to play Steelpan, and I tried that thing on the pan once when I was going to secondary school, but it wasn't for me. But I still love the instrument. I love it very, very. I love to hear it. And I'm usually amazed when I see the talent. How do they get to these songs to come from the Steelpan?
Well, that is something that is one of the things that is significant to Trinidad and Tobago, that it started here. And let me also mention, just around the 5th of August also, we got this GI. It's a geographical indication. As you know, there's some issues surrounding the patenting of the pan, right, where other countries are trying to get it on. And because of that, we are no longer be able to patent it. So through the government of Trinidad and Tobago, we are able to get the geographical indication stating that, okay, the Trinidad and Tobago is the birthplace of the Steelpan, and any instrument come out of Trinidad is authentic and of the highest class. So we got that patent, we got that, and it's also been targeted or run through the Bureau of Standard. So the Bureau of Standard gives you that stamp, those tuners, that, okay, what you are presenting to the world is of the greatest standard. And that is something that we also have to be really, really thankful for. So as you said, a lot of things is happening around the Steelpan, a lot of good things. And this is something that, you know, through the efforts of the president of Pan Tobago, Miss Beverly Ramsey Moore, she's been doing such a wonderful job. And, you know, Pan Reach, the standard Pan Reach right now, we didn't think that it would have gotten there. So thanks to Miss Beverly Ramsey Moore that, you know, we are getting somewhere.
You know what? Absolutely amazing stuff. And you know, I'm thinking here now, pan is something that can, do you think, or rather, that pan is something that can be used considering the current state of the society here in Trinidad and Tobago, where a lot of young people are getting into trouble? You know, they're choosing the side of mischief. Do you think that pan is a tool that can be used to draw them off the streets and to do something constructive?
Of course, I always say pan is the crime plan. I always say that. Pan is my crime plan. And let me explain. When you have the youths in the pan tent in the night practicing, they are off the streets. The more events you have, the more practices you will get, the more time that they are off the street. So when the president of Trinidad and Tobago is, you know, she's also saying, let us use the panyard model. And that is the panyard model, because once you're in the panyard, there's a certain discipline that you have to carry out, right? And that model, I believe, will be part of the plan to solve the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago.
And you know, you said something there that when you are in the panyard, you have to have a level of discipline.
Yes.
People think that the panyard is a place of, you know, chaos. And anything happens there and you just come and you just, but I like the fact that, and I think when I spoke with Beverly Ramsey Moore as well, she also mentioned that there's a level of discipline that has to take place in the panyard. And I like that very much. And I do hope that we really can use the panyard model across the nation to ensure that we get people, the young people off the streets and into something constructive. Brian, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. In closing, is there anything you want to share with our viewers?
No, I just want to remind people to come out on Sunday, 7 p.m. Come out in your numbers and support the bands in Tobago, and let's have a great time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Mr. Brian Thomas, Chairman of Pan Tobago Region. World Steelpan Day Pan Jam Tobago edition taking place there this Sunday at the Buku Beach facility from 7 p.m. It's absolutely free, so why not go down there and celebrate the Steelpan and show your support to all pan lovers here in Tobago. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations this morning. And as we go, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back. All right, we continue conversations this morning in studio. We continue speaking with Mr. Brian Thomas this morning. He is the chairman of Pan Tobago Region. And this morning we're talking about Pan and Carnival. We know Tobago Carnival is upcoming, so I'm not a carnival person, but I love the Steelpan. So I want to know, what is the position the Steelpan is taking in the carnival this year?
Well, we are going back with our flagship event this year on the 26th of August, Saturday the 26th of October, sorry. Pan month is still inside of me, the excitement. All right, so we have a shift in the date. Last year or the previous years, we had it on the Friday night. This year, we are going to have it on a Saturday night. We are going to be sharing that night with night mass. Right, so the pan starts at 5 p.m. So the parade starts at 5 p.m. at the Coast Guard base. We're going to have about 3 or 4 bands there to parade, to serenade the supporters until people gather to get enough persons to come up the road. And after that, we're going to have about 4 bands on the parade route going up into Scarborough, nice sweet music with our powder and our white jerseys and stuff. And going up to Scarborough, and then we're going to have about additional 2 bands there to finish off the show. I must also say that we'll be having jerseys on sale. In a week or 2, we're going to have the jerseys advertised. So you purchase a jersey for $200, you get a powder along with it. and for $250 you can get a jersey and a hat with powder. So I want to see you there this year.
I can't promise you that, but I do support the Steelpan itself. What was in terms of the last year or the years before, what was the turnout like in terms of participation?
All I can say, wow. Because we had Trinidad All Stars on the route, and we also had Cats and Jammers, Buccaneers, Steel Explosion, and Dixieland. Or each man holding their own and bringing along their supporters along with them. We also had several bars and things coming in with their own packages coming behind the bands and going up into Scarborough. It was really a wonderful, wonderful fleet at that point in time.
I can only imagine, as I said, I'm not a carnival person, but the Steelpan has a way that it can move you, and of course the culture of Trinidad and Tobago, and of course making it local to Tobago, has that kind of special ring to it. So I really look forward to that. How can persons participate in terms of collect their pay for their t-shirts?
So what we are asking people to do is call 639-1402. That's 1402. That's at the office to pre-order their jerseys. Once you pre-order your jerseys, you will put down, have your sizes and stuff. The cost will be $200, and once it's pre-ordered, we will give you your collection date, and we will have, and that's it. Just order your jerseys and show up on the day. Show up. We ask to wear white pants with the jersey, and of course, if you can purchase your powder, you will have powder with the jersey, but also the more powder, the more better. So it's rhythm, steel, and powder.
Wow, absolutely amazing. And you're sitting here talking about this, and I could just see all the excitement on your face as you talk about it. And it comes from a place of course, love and of course dedication. In terms of the year, throughout the year, people feel as if Pan only rise to the surface when it's carnival time. But here we're talking about the music festival, which we spoke about in the earlier segments. What other activities or during the year can we see the Pan, coming to the fore?
Well, a few years ago, it used to say Pan, as you said, Pan is only carnival time. But through this new executive, Pan has no season. It has no season. So after the carnival, we have it on a rotational basis. 1 year we have Pan in the 21st century, which was last year, and this year we have music festival. So we have a rotational thing with that. Then we have the whole August holidays. The August month is World Steelpan Day. And then during the other months, you have other bands will take a month and have their own own events during that time. So it's right through the year. I must say it's very tiring. I know it's something new, but Pan has no season now. We are going right through the year.
And especially if you want to use that pan, the pan to get people off the streets, you have to be you have to be in the pan from January to December.
Exactly. So that's why we continue to ask for the support from corporate Trinidad and Tobago and also from the government. The national government has come on board 100% with this by giving us proclaiming the national instrument, also the GI status. Also, the Prime Minister just announced that we are going to have a 120 million building, 6-story building, which is really, really, really nice. Also, we had our first Steelpan conference, international conference in August. Is when you enter that room, I said, wow, I can't believe I'm in a Steelpan conference. And we had a representative from the Tobago House of Assembly also supporting that conference, the Secretary for Tourism and Culture and Assistant Secretary also. So, we are just asking for that support from the governments and corporate citizens from Trinidad and Tobago so that we can keep the thing going right through the year. And by keeping it going right through the year, we have the people off the streets. By getting the people off the streets, we can limit the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago.
But of course, for October, you want them on the streets.
Yes, so want them on the streets to parade and celebrate. You must celebrate the instruments.
And so when you have the parade on the street for Carnival, how is it rolled out in terms of, are there different bands? How do they do this?
Right, so we start at the Coast Guard base, as mentioned before. We're going to have about 3 bands there, set up stationary and playing while people gather.
Right.
Right. We're going to be there for about 1.5 hours. Then we take to the street where we're going to have 5 other bands. And so people will line up, the bands will line up and go up one behind the other. And you have this long parade going up to Scarborough. And when we meet up to Scarborough, we have some bands to finish off the event. So it's really, really nice. And I think this year should be the year for you to take part in it. And we're hoping that we have Tobago updates also to stream it live.
Well, you're in the right place for that. And of course, I want to wish you the very, very best as you continue to dedicate your time to further development of PAN, because I believe PAN can go even further. I know the president, Mrs. Ramsey Moore, she will not stop working. I know this is a big achievement, but I know that you guys will continue to work and press as much as you can to get the PAN to where you really want it to be and to ensure the legacy lives on,
Of course.
You have to go into communities and find these young people to come and learn how to play the PAN, learn the appreciation of the PAN. And one thing I think we should continue to talk about the history of the PAN, educate people about where the PAN came from and why we're so proud about this moment where the PAN is now our national instrument.
Yes, yes. So you said I'm bringing out the young people. I must say, and I must thank the young people, because the young people are the players and the more mature people are the supporters. Right? So we have a saying that saying PAN in danger, PAN is not in danger, because the young people are coming out and playing it. They are 90% of them are those who are playing the PAN, and then we have the mature people, the supporters. So the rhythm, steel and powder, we have a lot of mature people coming from Trinidad, from New York for this event particularly.
Absolutely amazing stuff. And I wish you guys the very, very best there as you continue to do the work and to celebrate the instrument. And the best, all the best. I wish people come out, and of course I want to see the videos when Tobago Updates does the covering for you guys there at that event. All right, Brian, thank you so much. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking with Mr. Brian Thomas. He is the chairman of PAN Trinbago Tobago region. We spoke about the Tobago edition of the Steelpan Day Pan Jam, and of course now Carnival, Tobago Carnival, which is taking place in October there for the Rhythm, Steel and Powder event. Of course, if you want to be a part of that, you can contact them to get on board and join them as they continue to celebrate our national instrument. We have to go for a short break, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue conversations here in studio. And as we go for a break, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.